I don't want to hear any talk this week. Well, it was just the Raiders. Any win in the NFL, especially this year's NFL, is a good win. And the Eagles got the win. We're going to break this game down, trending in the AM. We are live, taking your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube and Twitter, as always. You know the drill. Whether you're watching now live or on replay later, hit the like button that you see on your screen. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and share this show out and this channel out to all your social media platforms. It's completely free to do. It is free to support a local content creator in their growth, guys, so please do it. I appreciate it. And please also vote on the live poll question. Describe yesterday's Eagles victory. You got four choices. They dominated. It was just the Raiders as option B. Any win is a good win. Or option D. Let's see it next week before hyped. Sound like freaking TMC with hyped. So let's get to it. The Eagles won yesterday in shutout dominating fashion. 31-0 over, yes, the vaunted Raiders backups or whatever you want to call them. And look, I know the talk's going to be, who cares? It's just the Raiders. And I know there's some warranted argument there. But this Eagles team was in complete freefall. This Eagles team was in complete disarray. This Eagles team knew that this week would be a cakewalk. Instead of taking the Raiders and Kenny Pickett lightly, they went out there and took care of business, which is unlike what they've been doing lately. So while it's just the Raiders, and while it was just a bunch of bad players on the Raiders, they took care of business. And I'm extremely happy that this team was able to perform the way they did, in the sense where they didn't even let it be remotely close. From the opening drive, the game was over. And that's what makes yesterday so important. Good morning, Robert. How you doing this beautiful morning? Good morning, Duck. It's still just the Raiders with a backup quarterback that had little time to prep with first team, and I get it. All of that is very fair. But because of all that, the Eagles could have taken them lightly, and it could have been closer. I just appreciate the 4 quarters of football. Huge thing. Like literally from the first play to the last play, everybody gave 110%. What's happening, Adam? Good morning. Victory Monday, and even better, the Cowboys lost. Magic number to win the NFC East is 1. 1 win from us or 1 more loss from the Cowboys. We are the NFC East champs again. Go Birds. Yes, absolutely. Little G, what's happening? We're on to the Commanders already. Yeah, Kenny Pickett was not good yesterday. I can't believe I wanted him to stay our backup this year. That was definitely not one of my better takes, I guess, after watching him play yesterday. Kenny Pickett's a good backup quarterback, honestly. The Raiders are just trash. They got no weapons. Just a bad team. Looks like AJ and Hurts are back on the same page. Were they ever not on the same page? Or was that just a blown-up narrative from the media? We'll never know. But they look pretty happy after scoring that touchdown. Chargers should have been the get-right game, and I would have liked to have seen this kind of play. Yeah, I mean, the Chargers are still a good team. And the Chargers won yesterday, barely, but they did win. The Chargers are going to be in the playoffs, so it was just another tough game in a tough spot. And yes, this final stretch is a little easier for us, but we knew this all along. What's up, Eagles girl? How you doing this great morning? Great win. Go Birds, yes. Saw some McKee time. Yeah. We even got to see the legend that is Tanner McKee yesterday. And on all the McKeesters, are ecstatic out of their minds that Tanner McKee went 3 for 3 yesterday and moved the Eagles' offense with such efficiency that all the Keisters were like, yeah, we got a quarterback problem here. I mean, I'm always in there. Easy, as you say. Kenny Pickett was fine. He did okay with whatever he had, yeah. I mean, poor guy. Like, whatever he had nothing. You know, no offense, a game plan, no weapons, a great Eagles defense. Poor guy. I predicted y'all were going to beat up on the poor Raiders. I mean, that's not really like breaking the, bank there with that kind of a prediction there. Bills wrecked Patriots, and no one's going to talk about the 21-0 blown lead that Drake May had. Because, why would they? If that was Jalen Hurts, it'd be front page story. Is anyone talking about Drake May? Oh, my God, I say it, and then Adam says it. Yeah. Am I glad the Chiefs are not in the playoffs? Yes and no. I mean, I'm glad the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs, whatever, but, I hate to see Patrick Mahomes go down with an ACL tear like that, and Micah Parsons. I don't like to see injuries like that. It's part of the game, but whatever. It's really weird how in his 8th season, Tom Brady loses in the Super Bowl, and then in year 9 tears his ACL, and then how in year 8 Patrick Mahomes loses in his 4th Super Bowl, and then tears his ACL in year 9 as well. A lot of eerie similar things, but the Chiefs are a fatigued team. Chargers game, all I wanted to see was a solid 4 quarters. Win or lose by a few points wouldn't have mattered. We just saw complete 60 minutes. Well, you got your complete 60 minutes. You just had to wait an extra week for your complete 60 minutes, Stuck. AJ and Jalen celebrate that touchdown together. They did. They celebrated last week, too, on a play. So the whole AJ Jalen thing has always been overblown. Why does Wikipedia redirect me to mid? I see. Bears quarterback finally get most improved. Maybe. Drake May, full complete meltdown in the second half, was very Eagles-like, but it won't be. It won't be front page news as if it was Jalen Hurts. In your face, Chiefs fans, yeah, whatever. Like, it is what it is. I'm not happy. There's a lot of people happy that the Chiefs are facing a downfall. I'm going to say the Chiefs will be right back there next year as long as McKee's back. Or not McKee, Mahomes is back. Are you trying to make parallels between Mahomes and I am drawing parallel lines. I am. I see what you did there. J.J. McCarthy put the Cowboys away. That's never a good sign when J.J. McCarthy is doing it. Yeah. It's a wild day in the NFL. You got Phillip Rivers leading comeback drives just to fall short. You got the Lions getting beat up by the Rams there. A lot of fun NFL games. You can blame Josh McDaniels for the play calling in that loss. Classic McDaniels. Look. Or you could blame Drake May. It is what it is. Mahomes lost his most valuable player, the rush yesterday. Won't lie, did not watch it, TMC, at all. Was busy with other things, but look, it is what it is with the Chiefs. Actually, the Chiefs game wasn't even on local TV here. How long do you think Andy is the Chiefs coach? Did you ask me that yesterday, Marshawn? Somebody asked me that yesterday. And I don't know. It depends on what you think. Do you think the Chiefs need to rebuild? Or do you think the Chiefs just have to tinker a little bit and it'll be fine? Andy Reid's not going to go through a rebuild or a losing stretch of football. He's too old and too tired for that. But if they're committed and Mahomes is going to be back, he'll be back. Until the wheels are completely off that train, he'll be back and then he'll retire. The Chiefs not in playoffs gives new teams a chance this year. You know what? I hear this narrative, Adam. Time to give other teams a chance. No. Those other teams have to earn their chance, and they have earned their chance by beating the Chiefs as many times they have. So other teams getting a chance? No. You got to earn that chance, and this is the first year they've done that. And I'm not going to say that they'll do it again next year. Victory Monday again, finally. Yes, finally We've got a victory Monday. It's good. Feels good to be back on the winning side of things. Andy never had a solid O-line in KC. No, he did not. And he should know better than that, right? He should know better. That he's got to do a better job on that. Reed will be the Chiefs coach as long as he wants to coach. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to want to coach them. Say they've got to really strip it down, and Mahomes is going to miss a big chunk of next year, which he probably won't. Most ACL tears at this time, you're back by training camp or late training camp. But Reed's not going to go anywhere because this is his last stop. When he's ready to retire, he'll retire. But if there was a situation where they're going to tank next year because Mahomes won't be ready, then he might sit it out. What's up, Tatsuya? Should Phillies fans worry about Real Muto not coming back? I don't think so. They got a good deal on the table. I heard that the Phillies have a 2-year, he wants 3 years. They should put some kind of option, club option maybe, or player option, or mutual option in there for year 3. Maybe that gets him happier. It gets the deal done. Chiefs weren't good this year and have been on a decline over the last few years. They need to rebuild that O-line while Mahomes is out. That should fix the main issues. I think they got to work on that running game a little bit. But yeah, the Chiefs are one off season away from being right back in the hunt. The D-line does miss Milton Williams. I would love if Andy Reid went to the Giants, but that ain't happening. Why do we want Andy Reid going to the Giants? He ain't going anywhere else. Can't wait for Saturday football. So first we had Thursday football. How many times? Then we get Friday football. Now we're getting Saturday 5 p.m. football. What NFL players prepared to play a 5 p.m. start time? The Pats D-line. No. If it wasn't for the terrible turf in Arizona, the Eagles would have lambasted Mahomes in 2022. Wasn't for a hold. But yeah. Hey, Phil, we're going to be okay. 1 year without refs calling everything for Mahomes. This year was keeping the script honest. Whatever. I mean, I don't matter. The Broncos remind me of the 22 Eagles. So you mean we're going to beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl? Is that what you're saying? Is that what we're doing? That's right. Get those likes up if you haven't yet. Like, there's 18 people watching. That means there should be 18 likes. 18 votes on the poll question. 18 likes. Like, subscribe, share. Let's go, people. Let's get it done. I want Andy Reid to be reminded of us twice a year just so he remembers who created who. Man, never knew you felt that way. You're normally like right down the middle. You don't have like those kind of harsh fan opinions. The O-line rebuild would also help with the running game. They could put a decent retread back there behind a good O-line. That's true. That's fair. The Eagles beat the Raiders, and you're talking Super Bowl. Well, I mean, I've been talking Super Bowl all year long. I've been talking patience and preaching patience all year long, Marshawn. This is nothing new. I've never wavered in my belief that this team, by the end of the year, just had to get healthy and get to the dance. I've never stopped thinking that this team was still the scariest team. I still think that there's not one NFC playoff team right now that wants to face the Eagles come January. Yeah, it's just the Raiders, though. And I get that. But positivity is positivity. And that running through that locker room right now. My birthday was fantastic. Thank you, Adam. A great pot roast dinner after the Eagles game. Some great homemade cookies from the wife. Nice little bourbon as I drifted off to La La Land. That was just, it was honest. I love the honesty from Nooms. It's a rarity. Where do we play the Bills? The Bills would be in Philly, right? No. We don't play back-to-back home games this year. So we're playing the Commanders on the road. We play the Bills in Buffalo, I think. So we have the next 2 on the road, then we close at home. I think that's where it is. But the Bills game don't matter to me. You win this week, the division's locked up. Hell, you take the Bills game lightly. Good morning, Bruce. How you doing? Hope you're well. The fact that we're one win away or one Cowboys loss away from being that number 3 seed, from winning the NFC East, I don't want Lane Johnson coming back to the playoffs. Hell, I don't want Jalen Carter coming back to the playoffs. I'm going to be conservative with Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens. I'm going to get our banged-up players healthy. Phil, yesterday was the best way to start to fix everything. I love the way you say that. It was a great way to start fixing the problems because now you've got something you can build on. Look, yes, we can do it for 60 minutes. I don't care who the opponent was. We can. And we did. And now we know we will continue to do it. I love the way you phrased that. The Raiders give us something we haven't had all season. 60 minutes of complete football. There were errors and penalties that need to be cleaned up, but it was a complete 4 quarters. There really wasn't even that many penalties called on the Eagles. A couple that should have been that weren't, but whatever. But yeah, a complete 4 quarters of football. Dominated in all aspects. With the division basically wrapped, do you see how the seeds play out, or do you focus on health? You got to focus on health because it's going to take, you would have to win out and hope for the Rams and Bears to lose to get a 1 or a 2 seed. You are sitting right now, like I think I forget what the number was, because I did see it online, 88, 89, 90, somewhere in that range percent locked into that number 3 seed. It's almost a sure thing that we're going to be the 3 seed and play either Seattle or San Fran in that first playoff game at the Link. It's going to be so difficult to move up in the standings, Annie. Who do we play in the wild card? Right now, it would be the 49ers. And right now, it's most likely going to be the 49ers. But there is an outside chance that Seattle could be that team. Very likely could be Seattle, but it's most likely the 49ers, which the 49ers are playing great football right now, too. Now, Bills game doesn't matter. That's Cope. You had the playoff spot locked up months ago. Look, it doesn't matter right now. Feel bad for Mahomes and the Chiefs fans, but I feel they won so many times. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Bills game is in Buffalo. Yeah, so we have back-to-back road games now. The Eagles win when they run the ball. Run the ball! Run the ball! That's right. They didn't even run the ball overly effective. They just stayed committed to it throughout the game. Who was the guy in sunglasses calling plays yesterday? What? It was somebody in sunglasses? I don't even know what you're talking about. 100% agree about injured players not playing until the playoffs. Once the East is locked up, starters who are available should play versus Buffalo, but the rest of the final week. Absolutely. You got to be conservative, right? You got to make, you can't win. Or hold on, let me rephrase that. You have an easier chance at winning if you get that offensive line 100%. If you get Jalen Carter 100%. That's how you win come January. Health. As much as we hate to focus on health, it's that factor of playing in Seattle if Seattle beats L.A. on Thursday. I'm sorry, playing in Seattle? I mean, I don't think we have to play in Seattle. Hank the Tank looked good. Tank Bigsby, yeah, everybody looked good yesterday. Phil, Seahawks looked weak. If Eagles play Eagles ball, they finally walk to the Super Bowl. Yeah, and they're starting to do that. What's up, it was a slobber knocker. The Eagles game, I mean, it was more of a domination. It was more like a handicap match. Eagles can't run the ball for shit. They didn't run it very effectively, they didn't run it very efficiently yesterday, I'll say. I mean, I'll pull the box score back up here. Give me a second. Had it, then closed it. Barkley was 22 of 78. Overall, the team was just 3.9 yards per carry, but they ran the ball 47 times. They stayed committed. Even Tank Bigsby only had a 3.4 yard per carry. Still too many runs getting stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And that's still on the offensive line's injuries. The guy in sunglasses calling plays looked like Patullo, but what we saw on the field says differently. We saw some of that the week before against the Chargers. It just wasn't for a complete game. We saw some improvements the week before. This week, we saw motion almost every play. We saw 2 running back sets multiple times. Patullo was wearing glasses yesterday. It might not have been. Did not even notice that. That's what I've been saying for 2 weeks, Rick. Nobody wants to face the Eagles in the playoffs. Why? Because they're a stacked team. Why? Because they're a dominating team when things are going well. They're a great team when they're healthy. So get healthy, keep playing well. Nobody wants to play us. No one wants to come to Philly, at least in round 1. And most teams don't want us going to their city because they know our fans travel so well. Seattle and L.A. are 11-3. Oh, so you're saying that. I got you. They play each other on Thursday. Gotcha. Yeah, I did know what you're saying there first. Nobody scares this Eagles team. No. I don't think they do. Don't get comfy. Raiders suck hard. Your O-line might need improvement. The Raiders do suck, but you can beat the teams in front of you, right? You could play a dominating performance against the team in front of you, or you could take them lightly and let it be a stressful game. We broke the Fox's Pizza Den curse. I broke the curse, K1, because I made pizza on Saturday night, okay, in my kitchen here at home. So I did what I had to do to help this team along. Are you doing what you got to do to help? I'm doing what I got to do to help. Dickerson and BG's legs are underneath them. You know what's funny? I was looking at the snap count news. Brandon Graham had 2 sacks yesterday. Oldest sacks ever by an Eagles player. Oldest player in NFL history at the defensive tackle position to ever have 2 sacks in a game. He had 2 sacks yesterday. He only played 7 snaps. Go look at the snap count from yesterday. 2. He had 2 sacks, 1 for a loss, and 1 tackle for a loss. Just think about that. He played 7 snaps, and he was that efficient yesterday. We need to shore up the O-line, but that is a postseason fix at this point. Phil made pizza. I did. I did my part. I think y'all find being bold, but Raiders blow. No more of that pineapple pizza crap. Yeah, absolutely. Huge injuries yesterday, and 0 for Rush yesterday. Yeah, I mean, Mahomes going down. Micah Parsons going down. That's a big injury yesterday as well. Amen, yes. Texans defense is nasty, 100%. We need to win this week, and if Cowboys lose, then rest our players. Yeah. That's what we need to do, 100%. Cowboys lost to the Vikings. That's pretty bad, yes. The Texans defense are for real. They are nasty. Their offense has been playing better, though, lately. Yeah, I can't stand pineapple either. But look, we could have been we were never going to lose to the Raiders. But today would feel so much different if we won 20-12, 28-24, whatever it may be. It might have just been the Raiders, but we held the Raiders to 75 yards of offense. We're talking 75 total yards. And I know it was Kenny Pickett. But Kenny Pickett has a winning record in the NFL. He started 25-26 games. They have a young, rising rookie. They have a great tight end. They have Max Crosby. Yeah, they stink. And Pete Carroll's never coached a team this bad. But Pete Carroll's a legendary coach. You don't think he could have gotten them a little bit more prepared? Or were the Eagles just that dominating? Some haters will say it was only the Raiders, but don't forget the Eagles beat KC, Dallas, Minnesota, Rams. You don't gotta say that to me. Any win's a good win. And it was just the Raiders, Rick. But it's not like it was just the Raiders and we won. It was just the Raiders, and we treated them like a CYO football team. We manhandled them. We didn't give them an ounce of room to breathe. I guess your brother is a Niners fan since they're doing good. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Unc Vic's defense is for real, too. But they need to get on that running game early. They even did a pretty solid job stopping the run yesterday. So Dory Jackson made plays yesterday. Let's call out teams that are ass. Well, the Raiders are. What's up, Warfighter? How you doing this beautiful morning? JJ did show why he was drafted where he was. He really showed up last night. JJ's okay. JJ's nothing special to me yet. Pete Carroll can't decide between peppermint and spearmint anymore. I like that. Rick, it ain't haters. The Raiders have worse than UFL roster, but you can only play who you can play. The defending Super Bowl champs did exactly what they were supposed to do to a team like that. The offense trounced them, the defense blanked them, and the game was never in doubt. And it's so rare to shut a team out in the NFL, Freddie. It is. 2 shutouts in the NFL yesterday. That's how crazy offense was yesterday. And what I really look at here, it was just the Raiders, right? Just the Raiders. But hold on, what's this? No, he's not the Golden Girls one. But the teams that are now tanking, yes, and the Saints trying to win. So anyway, watching that game yesterday, and I might have said it on the stream too yesterday. I don't remember. Watching that Raiders team yesterday just gives me an extra added layer of unneeded, but still layer of appreciation for this Philadelphia Eagles organization, for Jalen Hurts, for Howie Roseman, for Nick Sirianni, for Jeffrey Lurie. That Raiders team and organization is such a dumpster fire. And it just makes me feel so much happier that I'm an Eagles fan. Jalen Carter started hurting the team playing hurt, unfortunately. I'm sure he feels bad about it and is ready to atone. Yeah, absolutely agree with that statement. I saw smiles on the sideline. That game was much needed for this team's mental. Yeah. Get out of that quicksand, right, Warfighter? Stop the domino effect from happening. Now you have something good to. You've seen it work. You've seen your process work. Now you can build upon it. Yep, Eagles Commanders at Washington. I think we got this one. I'm happy y'all got a much-needed bye week. It was a pretty stress-free week. Trevor Lawrence had six touchdowns yesterday. Yeah, I saw, who was it yesterday? One of the Philly content creators. Oh, we always crush Trevor Lawrence when he's bad, but never give him credit. Well, he had a good game yesterday. Bills lose to Miami and Atlanta. Who's Rob Reiner? A legendary director, Princess Bride, one of them. Least yards given up by the Birds since 1955. When you do something historic, that is almost a harbinger of things to come. I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't even look that one up, and that's good. That's good knowledge. I'm gonna write that one down. But it was the first shutout since 2018. I did write that down already. Bills being asked don't make Raiders have a good player. Not arguing with the Bills and Raiders and stuff like this. Wow, I didn't even realize that the Bengals got blanked, but isn't Burrows back? Yeah, and he threw a really, really ugly-ass interception during the game. He was getting pressure in his face, and he just flung it up there right into a defender's hands. Yeah, Burrows is a problem. TMZ is a Golden Girls dude. Gives himself away. I don't think it is, honestly. I have an idea on who it is, but it's not that. Spinal Tap. Yeah, he did Spinal Tap too, Rob Reiner too, yeah. Do we sit starters 2 weeks out if we win next week and there's no chance of getting a higher seat, or is it too much time? I think what you do, Warfighter, you sit them out definitely the last week. Maybe you play them a half a game next week, or maybe they play half a game next week and a quarter the week after that. Something like that. From my understanding, as long as we make the playoffs, it's almost a 90% lock that it is the 3 seed. So there's almost nothing to play for at all at this point. So, yeah, you get the win this week against Washington. You play half a game against Buffalo. And then you rest them week 18. I'm okay with that. You see Jalen Hurts take a big hit to the knee yesterday? Can't risk that. The offensive line has been barely held together and is just getting right. You don't risk that. You don't risk Jalen Carter's shoulder. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner and his wife. What happened to them is travesty. Yeah, man. So I saw a brief little comment about his son doing it and didn't get a chance to click on that. I literally saw that like 5 minutes before the show. Last year it was the history of Birds made the margin of victory on the road. Put respect on the name of sick what? Yeah. Harry Met Sally, yeah, and Sleepless in Seattle. I knew he did Harry Met Sally too. Tanner time. Second half of the Bills game and on. Yes. McKeister season is upon us. Yeah. As soon as we win against them next week. Yeah. Yeah. All the family as well. Anyway, we're not arguing, TMC. Don't be picking fights in the chat. No need for that this morning because it's a positivity Monday. It's not an overreaction Monday. It's a positivity Monday. Okay. It's a positivity Monday talking about Dallas Goedert up to 9 touchdowns on the season. Okay. Should be 10, but it's 9. The Eagles have put themselves in a spot where 2 guys that were afterthoughts, Jordan Davis and Dallas Goedert, might need to get extended this offseason. This is another positive thing. Nick Sirianni, who y'all were talking about getting rid of last week, 5 years now as the Eagles head coach. 5 years winning records, 5 years playoff appearances. It's a rare thing in sports. When Harry ate Sally, it was much better. Something like that, whatever. Let's stay positive with Victory Monday, right? Poisadelphia, Phil? No, not Poisadelphia. Never. McKee did great yesterday again. Of course McKee did. In a controlled situation against bad Raiders team, right? Yeah, anyway. Tank was cheated out of that touchdown. Hey, look. Tank got in the action. Will Shipley got in the action. We saw Jalen Hurts run design quarterback draws. We saw Jalen Hurts keep the ball on read options, not just the one where he got banged up on. The Eagles won a game without Lane Johnson out there. So was Sleep with Hurts. It's so easy to turn movie titles into other titles. McKee sustained that drive. Can't understate it. Yeah, he kept the drive alive. He even scrambled for a first down. Look at the McKeisters. The McKeisters are probably so happy. I'm sure some other radio channel or content channel will talk about a quarterback controversy today. They will. Because there's a lot of those nonsense sites like Don Kleiman talking about trading Jalen Hurts for Joe Burrow. They're going to be going deep into trading Hurts this week because of McKee. Look, I was happy that McKee looked good. And again, like I said, the only way you're ever seeing McKee was when Jalen Hurts gets benched because of a blowout or if Jalen Hurts gets hurt. You almost got the hurt part that you wanted so bad. Good for him. And sustaining drives. It wasn't just McKee. I mean, yesterday, the Eagles went 10 for 13 on third down. 10 for 13. Almost 77% on third down. That's how you sustain drives. The Raiders, on the other hand, 3 of 12 on third down, and 2 of them were on the first drive. That's how you win football games, sustaining drives and getting your opponents off the field. Rob Reiner is called meathead in All the Family, yes. We finally cracked the seal on Tank. You love to see it. Hurts isn't going to. Oh, I know he's not. The Eagles know he's not. But nonsense media makes a few fans think he is. I know you claim not to. but you subtly do without even realizing you do. McKee and Cooper hook up because he's the only wide receiver on the field that he practices with. You even saw Covey get on the field for offense. Never root for injuries. These men are out there to entertain us. Are you not entertained? And feed their families, too. The Chiefs dynasty has ended. Is Chris Jones available? I would trade AJ and a second for him. It's a big trade right there. It's a big trade suggestion right there. Their dynasty has not ended. Their season has ended, but not their dynasty. They'll be back there next year as a contender again. I firmly believe that. Time of possession was basically 40-20. I think it was like 39-50 to 20-10 or something like that, Adam. We basically won time of possession 40-20. Okay? That's just straight domination. Why do you think we do it? Whatever. You never root for injuries. You never do. And that's why I'm sad to see even Micah Parsons get hurt yesterday. I never root for injuries, but I also never root for teams to have the injury excuse. Well, you only won because X, Y, and Z were hurt. It's not just not wanting a guy to get hurt. It's not wanting the team to have excuses. Chris Jones is a meh run stopper, not disciplined, zero gap. Yeah, look, that's where we're not going all in there. We're not doing a Chris Jones. Game plan needs to be making sure Goddard's involved in the game plan. I don't think people understand during his entire career, when Dallas Goedert gets involved, the Eagles do better. Steve, I don't think Eagles fans realize how important he's been throughout his entire tenure, because all we ever talk about is the injury narrative with Dallas Goedert. This year, he's only, knock on wood, missed one game. And he dropped the 10th touchdown. But, I mean, Dallas Goedert is such an important part of this offense because it opens up A.J. Brown. It opens up Devontae Smith. It opens up the run game when your tight end is effective. Plus, the Eagles have mastered that play-action dump-off to Dallas Goedert. What's up? Does that say JJ? I think that says JJ. Eagles dominant like they were supposed to. And yes, it was the Raiders. Now to maintain consistency. You can't maintain consistency if you don't start the consistency. They started the consistency yesterday, which is all we wanted to see. Now their goal is on Saturday afternoon to maintain it. Absolutely. It don't matter if it was the Raiders or not. You can only play who's in front of you. That was a weird non-contact injury yesterday. Yeah, it didn't even look like a typical ACL tear. Like, it almost looked like his fibula, like the leg bone was buckling a little bit. Mahomes tore his ACL. He's going to miss 26. Not most ACL injuries nowadays are like 7 months, which puts them back in July. Most people don't miss 9-10 months unless there's more things torn in there, mister. ACL recoveries are much quicker than they were in the past. So I have a feeling Mahomes will be back next year. Casey wasn't going anywhere even with Mahomes this year. Yeah, they need to redo that offensive line. They need to spend their next 9 draft picks on the offensive line. Get Mahomes some protection. Anytime a tight end gets involved, all NFL teams do better. Tight ends are the go-to when your first read isn't there. Yeah. Problem is Dallas Goedert, as the first read, opens up other reads as well. Not a problem, it's just the way it is. Dallas Goedert's always been an important part of this offense. Goedert made himself unretainable by the Eagles with his performance. Unretainable. Goddard's getting paid and paid well. Yeah, that's the thing. He wanted to get paid last year. Didn't. Came back. This year, he's going to get paid. Somebody is. I would consider the Eagles doing it. Flyers did well to get points from Colorado, Carolina twice, and VK. Didn't they lose their last 2 games? What do good teams do? Dominate bad teams. Exactly. Eagles will win the next 3 games. Yeah, and I put them at 12-5, just like I predicted. I would love that. Any young tight end routed for a second or third round, that would work for us. There probably are tight ends. That's exactly what happens to the shin when you tear your ACL. The shin buckles. Maybe I've just never noticed it on the legs. I'm always looking at the knee. Never noticed that before. I just saw that leg on that one angle of the video. It just like, I was like, oh, my insides. Commanders game will still be tough because it is a divisional game. Yeah, we're not winning. We're not shutting them out 31-0. And Marcus Mariota can still sling it around. You know, they are fighting for not playoff drafts positioning, but yeah, commies are shit. We win that one easily. I don't know if it'll be 31-0. That's all I'm saying. I thought they said Hurts couldn't throw over the middle. That touchdown to Brown showed it. I mean, that was a terrible throw. I mean, it was so bad. A.J. Brown bobbled it a little bit, right? Because, God, man, he's terrible. He's terrible out there, right? It is what it is. Look, they took care of business, which is what they had to do, which what we wanted them to do. And they did it in a fashion where there's, you know, I was expecting, I predicted, you know, some different types of scores. I predicted that originally we were going to come on this show on Monday and we were going to have a victory with questions still left unanswered. But we went out there and won a game in a fashion where there's no questions on the Eagles. Like we can't question anything from their performance. Maybe you still have questions on this team. Run stopping, offensive line blocking, whatever. But there's no questions from yesterday's game because every aspect worked well. Goddard has exceeded most people's over-under for games played. Absolutely. I mean, most times you expect them to miss 3 or 4 games every year, at least. It is what it is. But he's played majority of this season, and he's played well. Who would have thought 9 touchdowns from Dallas Goedert with 3 weeks to go? Flyers lost their last 3 in overtime shootout. Gotcha. I just saw something before I came live saying Flyers lost another one in a row or whatever. So, again, I want to put more time into the Flyers. I just haven't. I'm trying at times to get my Flyers love back. I can't. You know, I have more free time, but I don't know. It's been so long since I've been hooked on the Flyers. I just can't get back into it. And you know, I made fun of John Marks on this show last week because he was asked Flyers questions. He didn't know the answers. And he just said, well, I don't know the answers because I don't watch hockey. But he works for the station that's the Flyers' official partner. Maybe you should know a little bit. But I'm no Flyers official partner, so I don't know. We still have unanswered questions like, stop, I'm not even going to say it. Unlike the outlet, yeah, look, again, didn't watch them. If the playoffs start today, the Niners would come to Philly for the first round. And going into this weekend's game, I would have said the 49ers would have whooped our asses. But from what I saw on Sunday, even though it was just the Raiders, I think we beat the 49ers. If we were playing the 49ers next week here in Philly in the playoffs, would the Eagles win, and what would the line be? The line would probably be 3.5 points Eagles favored, and I think we would win. Got to wait for February for Flyers love. Yeah, get the Eagles season over, you know, then we can focus on Flyers for a month before the draft. So it seems Kim is taking. I saw Siwoo Kim's not taking the live money. He was, and then he wasn't. And Siwoo Kim doesn't mean you have deep pockets. What, you want Duck wants golf talk? What, you Google something golf related or something? Siwoo Kim is not going to live, it seems, after all. Whatever. Let him go. I won't lose so much money on Team No Putt, events with Siwoo Kim. Yeah, maybe. Depends on what the Eagles are doing in the game. Whether they play their starters the whole game or not. If they win this week and that game's meaningless, who knows? That's the thing. We don't know what the rest of the season is going to bring after this week. So maybe it changed again because it was like last week, and then late last week they switched it. So maybe it happened again. Who cares? So the Flyers get a month, but we're glazing the Phillies in April. Yeah, I glaze whatever I feel like it. The Phillies are more important to me than the Flyers. Go figure. That the baseball team's more important than the hockey team. Paul George and Joel Embiid have started showing up, but without Oubre, the whole defensive plan loses continuity. Yeah, look, we saw some vintage Paul George and Joel Embiid this weekend in multiple games. They went 1-1, but multiple games of vintage. Obviously, we had 39 from Joel the other night. I think it was 32 or 33 from PG yesterday. Maxey must be really sick to be out for as long as he's been with an illness. They say he'll be back on Tuesday or Wednesday, back to practice. But, man, it's nice to see some vintageness from those guys. Fred Warner and Nick Bosa are injured for the year, or were they on the can come back IR? Missed. I'm not sure. I haven't done a deep dive on the 49ers. Look, the 49ers would pose a threat to the Eagles because if there is a weakness on this Eagles defense, it's the run defense. And you got CMC with the 49ers, not just running the ball, but catching the ball out of the backfield as well. If I worry about the 49ers, it's about how will our front stop him. Now, getting Jalen Carter healthy, hence why I'm saying don't rush Jalen Carter back for the Bills game. If we we lock up the division on Sunday or on Saturday, Carter could sit till that division or wild card game. Getting Jalen Carter back to as close to 100% would be massive for a potential matchup with the 49ers and CMC. That's what we got to start thinking about with the Eagles. Not just winning next week, but getting ready for those playoff opponents. Fine-tuning the game plan. Fine-tuning the execution. And getting our key trench pieces healthy. Where my opinion, yeah, your opinion does matter. That's the key thing. You misunderstand that. It's where your opinions matter. Doesn't mean I have to agree with your opinions. It's still my show. The Commanders and Eagles spread is 6. Yeah, it seems about fair. If it wasn't a division game, it'd probably be more. Or if it was in Philly, it would be more. But in Washington, in division game, 6 points seems fair. But I bet you the Eagles would be favored over the 49ers at home right now as well for the playoffs, if that happened. Based off of what we see and know now. I find it, well, what's that say? Oh, yeah, I mean, things that went well yesterday, again. We won finally. I don't even remember the last time we did this without Lane Johnson. Did Fred Johnson play well yesterday? Or was it just the Raiders again? The rest of the offensive line did play very well yesterday. I know the running lanes weren't always open for Saquon and Tank Bigsby, but there's still fine-tuning to do. So that's what I was saying there. You know, we want to fine-tune. We want to get healthy. I guess the offensive game plan, it's working, but there's still room to open up the running game. So fine-tuning the Eagles' running game with this offensive line, very crucial over the next 3 weeks. These are the kind of things to keep looking for. 18 likes on the video, not good enough. We've been hovering over right around 20 viewers all show long on YouTube. Also haven't gained any new subscribers yet today. 50 people have tuned in, I just looked. And only 18 likes. Come on. No new subscribers yet today either. Whatever. It's all good. I watched that game yesterday. and just was stress-free from second to last second. There was some very encouraging pancakes by Dickerson that indicates the arrows pointing up. Yes. And there was a couple times I saw some nice plays from Cam Jurgens as well. It's always been, Nooms, and I think you and I are the only ones that have been pointing it out since before week 1. The injuries to Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, not just this year, but the ones from last year as well, and how they've been holding this team back. And Jordan Mailata, while he's great, has been down this year. Maybe partly because his counterpart, Landon, has been down as well. It's not just health, okay? Not just health. It's continuity when it comes to the offensive line. And when you're not healthy, you can't build that continuity. When you're not practicing every single day together, you can't build that continuity. It's getting better because they're getting healthy and they're practicing together more. But needless to say, there's still work to be done. Because Saquon still is getting tackled behind. There's certain plays where you see Saquon run and just not see the hole and bounce around. That's on Saquon. But there's still plenty of runs where he gets that ball and boom, gets hit in the backfield because the D-line pushes the offensive line back 5 yards. So I'm not going to blame the offensive line for all of it. Some of it's on Saquon. But then there's a couple runs yesterday, not like big runs, but runs where you saw Saquon still show that burst that he has when he's committed to the run. This defense is playing better without JC. He should just get surgery and prepare for next season. It's a contract year for him, and his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, needs a brand new bag. Show me the money. Look, so I don't know if the defense is playing better without him. They're playing better without him because you're not forcing a very injured JC to play. If he doesn't need the surgery, you don't have to have the surgery. No need to have surgery if it's not necessary, okay? But there's no reason to play him before it's the playoffs, in my opinion. You get him 98% healthy by January, and you play him in that wild card game. And yes, show him the money. There's a very interesting conversation about what his contract will look like now, based off of what this down year has been like for him. But also because of the up year Jordan Davis has had. Nolan Smith also do, and he had a big game yesterday, Nolan Smith. I don't see how Max Crosby stayed with the Raiders. He was pissed and yelling on his side. He was tearing into Devin White, former Eagle, yesterday for sure. Did we figure it out? Somebody brought it up yesterday, and I never looked it up. Is Max Crosby really a free agent at the end of the year? What style pizza will you burn this week? You know what? I diffused the situation by making pizza on Saturday night. We're good. I remade the pizza on Saturday night, Rolo, and it turned out great, and that's why the Eagles won. Mailata has been wildly inconsistent this year. Mailata has said since the beginning of the year that he's not 100%. He doesn't have an injury, so to speak, but he did say blatantly and honestly the wear and tear of the 2,000-yard season on him and the rest of the O-line. They needed more time to recover this offseason, which means they prepared less for this season. Eagles will be fine for the playoffs. Get healthy, and they will be. Had to take a walk. What? We haven't talked McKay since you left. It's to the point now where my bigger concern is for Jurgens' long-term prognosis. Yeah. I mean, that's been my concern for Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson since day one in this organization. Everybody will be healthy for the playoffs. Well, we hope so. Let's knock on wood on that one. You are crazy if you want to put Carter on IR. He's our best player. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Hey, all opinions matter. Sometimes they're just wrong, Warfighter, right? But I don't think it's crazy to say he doesn't need to play the rest of this season in the regular season. I can't take a football team from Vegas seriously. That's the place where old people go to gamble away all their life savings. Yeah. The Fox curse is over. Thank God. I hope JC didn't just get a PRP injection. I really hope it was we don't. We don't know. They've been very, very quiet on what he got. Very well, he just got some injections. Let's not say too much. They've been very secretive of whatever Jalen Carter got taken care of there. But whatever. It's all good. It is what it is. But getting him healthy for a potential matchup against the 49ers in the playoffs is crucial to this team's success. You get Jalen Carter healthy. You get Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson healthy. I'm telling you, a healthy, confident Eagles team will not be beat in January. Let's look at the NFC standings again here. Let me just think about this, okay? The Rams are the number one team in the conference right now. We have beaten them 3 straight times. They're a great football team. Devontae Adams is hurt now. Chicago Bears beat us. Yes. That was in our free fall. I would think we could beat them another time. Tampa going to win the division with an 8-win record. Seattle almost lost yesterday to Phillip Rivers. San Fran, that's a tough one. Green Bay already beat them. Detroit in the 8th spot already beat them. Man, Detroit's in the 8th spot. What happened to Detroit, man? Let's not call each other names. Man, sometimes on Monday mornings, you guys get so testy. You guys get so testy in the chat. Rick and TMC going at it earlier. Now Mista and Warfighter. Guys, we're all Eagles fans. Well, most of us are Eagles fans. It's Monday morning. Let's breathe in, breathe out. A little woosah. Detroit fall has been weird, too. I don't get Detroit's fall. I mean, it's injuries, obviously. Injured massively all last year. Injured massively again this year. They lost their offense and defensive coordinator from last year. Dan Campbell's had to take over play calling. But they still got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, and Jamar Gibbs. They still got Hutchinson. They still have so much talent. Penny Sewell. That free fall of the Lions is it's interesting. It's weird. It's hard to understand. You can always tell when Phil slightly code switches just so that it produces a short. Nah, do I? I don't ever speak into hoping that a short comes out of it. I don't. I guess. Oh, guys. No picking fights in the chat. Come on. This is we all get along. The Kumbaya show here. All right? Whatever. I don't care if you're friends or not. As long as you guys aren't in my house fighting, I don't care. Detroit's free fall is odd because the injuries weren't as bad as last year. Last year's injuries were much worse. But they still got a lot of guys on IR, Duck. A lot of guys on defense on IR. And it caught up to their defense last night as the Rams marched all over them. Yeah, no sign of the pump man. I mean, he was bashing Hurts in the middle of the game in the chat yesterday, Adam, because that's what the pump man does. But he's a Cowboys fan. He's licking his wounds after they lost last night. Saw Cowboys fans on Twitter last night. Well, hey, we still got 5 Super Bowls to your 2. Cowboys fans are delusional right now. Cowboys fans still think they're winning the division. I think I saw Dak go up last night. Who did he say it to? It wasn't last night. Dak still thinks he's making the championship game. That's all I know. Dipped when he couldn't get it. Yeah, couldn't get a rise out of me yesterday. I wasn't getting all riled up yesterday. Not at all. It's not my fault yet. It is a bad take. You don't sit them for the whole year, including the playoffs. you sit him for the regular season. Dan Campbell is like the Tom Tibbs of the NFL. I don't know. I think it's because it's different in the NFL than the NBA. You don't have rotations like secondary and linebacker. I don't know. I don't know if I like that comparison. I don't honestly know. Maybe he rides them too hard in practice, where Tom Tibbs rides them too hard in games. Maybe. The pump man does try way too hard. He does. Way too hard. Bucks players were tearing into Hassan Reddick after their meltdown. Not a great Sunday for former Eagles. Yeah. Kevin White got torn into, and now Hassan Reddick. In the last couple of weeks, people were trying to say that A.J. Brown was the reason for the locker room collapse in 23, even though we all knew it was Hassan Reddick. Then you see what's going on in Tampa. It's Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick has been a problem in locker rooms since his Arizona days. Rivers' stomach Thanksgiving feast. Look, I give Phillip Rivers all the credit in the world for giving it a go after not playing football for 5 years, resetting his Hall of Fame candidacy, too, in the thing. So he's got to wait 5 more years now for a chance to go to the Hall of Fame, which he probably will get into. Phillip Rivers, 18 of 27, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, plus a -5 rush yesterday. Ah, man, poor guy. Had to throw the ball 27 times in a football game, too. Jalen Carter is one of the most – Jalen Carter is arguably one of the best defensive tackles in football. I don't know where this Jalen Carter hate's coming from. I mean, is he undisciplined at times? Does he get immature at times? All absolutely correct things. But Jalen Carter is a freak and a beast on the defensive line. Rivers played well for someone who hasn't played in 5 years. Absolutely. Now, I still don't think that wasn't better options. I still don't understand why you didn't give a young player a chance or someone on your practice squad a chance. That aspect of it I don't understand. But you know what? Good for him. Good for Phillip Rivers. John Campbell is being wasted away at edge. He needs to go back to linebacker. It's another one of those tough questions. This year's Eagles season, Marshawn, has brought a difficult, as I said already, Dallas Goedert question, a difficult Jordan Davis question, and a difficult Nakobe Dean question because of Jahad Campbell. There's a lot of tough questions left to answer after the season because of how certain people are playing this season. And I don't know which way you go with it. I don't know how you let Nakobe Dean go and walk with the way he's played. But you got Jahad Campbell, who it hasn't developed as an edge player yet. I don't know. Do you even need Jahad Campbell on the edge with Nolan Smith, Jelix Hunt, and they better retain Jalen Phillips? Is Jalen Phillips the most important free agent the Eagles face a decision on this offseason? Instead of Nolan Smith getting a big pay raise, do you find a way to move on from him and you keep Jalen Phillips? Like, there's so many difficult questions on this team. He does demand to play every team, a double team every play. Indy smelling playoff for the first time in a long time, and they realize the Steichen offense needs a quality quarterback. Yeah. Phillip Rivers ain't that. I think Nakobe gets a contract here. Wild take would be if they keep Nakobe and Jahad and cut Bond to save money. I would have to look at what that would financially involve, Marshawn. But I don't think they would cut Bond. But, man, that's a wild take. I've seen crazier takes, but it's not insane. You have to make a decision. It would be to cut Bond or to trade Jahad. They would be both wild takes. But you don't pay 3 linebackers. And Jahad Campbell's making first-round pick money, so it's decent money he gets because he was a first-round pick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whether you cut him, you trade him. But I would find it very hard to imagine with all the, like, you can't pay Nakobe, Bond, and Campbell when you got to pay Nolan, Jalen Phillips, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Dallas Goedert. Look at all these tough decisions financially. Everyone says you got to trade A.J. Brown because he's a problem. No, you might have to trade A.J. Brown because financially you've got a lot of tough decisions. But honestly, I don't even like having these conversations. Okay? I don't. Because we still got 3 weeks left of the regular season, and we've got the whole playoff schedule in front of us still. We're 7, 8 weeks away from having to worry about what they do this offseason. All we could do now is continue to watch the current guys and see who develops the best to make the decisions a little easier or harder, whatever you want to say. Someone hacked, yeah, possibly. I think they keep all three linebackers. I don't think Nakobe gets a massive contract. I don't know if I'm okay with Dean being elsewhere. Yeah, both are true. I don't want him getting a big contract, but I don't want him going elsewhere. Nakobe's a hungry dog. He is playing with his hair on fire. Dude is pissed he wasn't able to play in that Super Bowl. And I've been a huge Nakobe Dean fan since the second we drafted him, Warfighter. Was stoked when we drafted him. And I would hate to see him go elsewhere, like Marshawn said. But also, I can't see them paying him big money. What did Bond get? Like 3 years, $50 million? Or something in that range? Like, I'd be shocked if he got anywhere close to that here. But maybe another team offers him that for his leadership ability. Howie will find a way to keep them all. I mean, according to Howie Roseman, there's no such, or according to the fans, there is no such thing as a salary cap when it comes to Howie Roseman because he figures it out. And I don't disagree with that at all. At all. Because, you know, it is what it is. Howie Roseman's just a master manipulator. Dude, I'm shocked it isn't done yet. Rick, JT Realmuto be inside. So probably will happen this week, or we'll know where he's going this week at least. Hopefully it's to stay here. Why is Hargrave not an Eagle? Dude can still rush the quarterback. Javon Hargrave, who's he on now? He was on the 49ers. Now I forget where he is. But Nakobe truther from day one, but he isn't worth what he's likely to get. And that's the thing, K1. Is he going to get a deal that prices him out of Philly? And it's probably the case. Remember in the offseason when I said the Eagles should try to extend him very cheaply? Maybe I was right for a change. Kyle Tucker did not sign yet. You know, it's funny, Marsha, I shared on Twitter yesterday my video from last offseason where I was willing to trade Aiden Miller, Alec Boehm, and I forget who the third was. Alec Boehm, Mick Abel, and Aiden Miller for Kyle Tucker. And everyone bashed me. You can't give up on Mick Abel or Aiden Miller or Alec Boehm. And I got crushed for that short video. And it popped up as a Facebook memory. That's why I remembered about it. Everybody hated me for that video. And now everybody would die to have Kyle Tucker in our outfield. The only way to keep most of these players will require contract extensions with dummy years, and that's Howie's specialty. Our defense window is small unless we draft out of our minds. There are a lot of guys looking for paydays in the near future. But that's the thing. We have been drafting. So, yeah, you've got a lot of guys that, you know, got to get paid. But the next guys are already here, right? Like, so you don't want to pay. You've got Jalen Phillips, Nolan Smith, and Jugs Hunt. You pay two, you let one walk. You've got Drew Makuba going into year 2. We haven't even talked Toby back at some point, although Marcus Epps has played really solidly the last 2 weeks. You got the young cornerbacks that are still 2 years away from getting paid. And then when they get paid, you might be ready to move on from somebody else. It's just a constant rotation, a constant window here on defense. Once Dean adopted to the NFL speed, he really became just about as I still stand by it that Nakobe Dean would be wearing that C patch on his jersey if he was healthy. And we wouldn't have drafted Jahad Campbell. Hurts pushed a bunch of his contract towards the end of his contract to pay for a few players last year. I expect him to get an extension even this offseason, Duck. You can extend Hurts this offseason. And by doing that, you will free up even more cap space for Jalen Carter, for Dallas Goedert, for whoever else. Dude, we're stuck on 919 here. I want to see 920, 921, 922. My goal of 1,000 by the end of the year. We got 16 days left this year, and we're still 81 away. It's just not happening. Couple horrendous missed calls by the refs in yesterday's Sixers game. I watched bits and pieces of it. Is Blankenship coming back? I thought it was a lock. You probably still bring Blankenship back on a cheap extension because you're not going to draft a high-end safety in this year's draft. So you're probably going to run it back with Reed, with Andrew Makuba, and maybe they find a way to keep Marcus Epps around. Hurts will probably get an extension to kick that can down the road a bit more. He absolutely will. This is the first offseason that they can do that. Did y'all see Crosby chewing Devin White out? It was kind of comical. It was. Everyone, we have to get Phil to 100 before the new year, so let's get out there. Yes, 100, 1,000, Adam. But yes, I understand that. Thank you, Adam. Yes, let's go. The backcourt miss was miserable. Yeah, I've seen that on replay about 100 times. Brutal. Man, the Sixers cannot string consecutive wins. Sixers are interesting to me. Still no expectations. But Joel Embiid and Paul George playing better. There's something building there. Dummy years, the Phil Stiefel story. What? I think I'm supposed to be offended by that, K1. But I blame Nurse for idiotically challenging that defensive basket interference call. Yeah. If Reed is gone, then I need CJ back. I mean, he'll be a free agent. You can bring him back anyway, right? Epps' solid play allows Blank to play out of position. Got to re-sign Jalen. I think Jalen Phillips might be. Call me crazy. Might be way more important to the offseason than Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean. Retaining Jalen Phillips is going to be critical this offseason. I'd pay JD and Phillips and Dean cutting on. Well, you don't have to cut him. You could trade him. JC's fifth-year option, make him earn his. Yeah, I think that's what they do. I don't know about cutting Nolan. They'll either try to extend him or trade him or play it out. Unfortunately, Phillips may be a challenge. It's going to be an expensive challenge, but you got to find a way. Your source, Phil, what happened? My source, my source was a good source. I don't know what happened to the Reed extension. Refs missed a clear goal 10 at the end of the first half. Flyers playing good hockey despite losing. Phillips played very good yesterday. The Flyers team just don't quit. That's true. Sixers are starting to make it come together. They're vibing very well together. It's fun watching the Sixers right now. How to defend at this point, getting more time together on the court. CJ's not coming back for less than what we would have offered. Yeah, exactly. We should start making up Flyers highlights and see if Phil believes them. Go for it. I don't lie when I say I don't watch enough Flyers. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know what I'm talking about. If we make the Super Bowl, that's 4 times in 8 years. I mean, that's pretty special, right? But yet we're still talking about this coach and this quarterback and if they're good enough or not. Who was it? Joe getting jiggy with it? Saying that was Jalen Hurts' last chance to prove himself before you got to bench him. Idiotic. We will never use the D word in here. Okay? We can't. The Eagles do not stink. Guys, if you haven't, please like, subscribe, share. This is Trending in the AM. We're at the, hour and 15-minute mark of the show today. The likes are there. The views are there today. The subscriber count, not so much today. But keep pushing forward with those button clicks right there. Please. Sirianni, I already have said that. Sirianni, best head coach in Eagles history. Jalen Hurts, best quarterback in Eagles history. It's true. It's damn true. Howie Roseman has got decisions. I wouldn't want to be in Howie's shoes Because Howie's right now trying to find a way to continue balancing this season and getting us on track, manipulating the roster and the practice squad. Like here's something. Drew Makuba's not going to be back yet, but he will be eventually. But Andre Sam, you've been calling up for 2 weeks in a row. He's out of elevation. Howie Roseman's got to manipulate the practice squad this week. Sirianni stinks. No, not true. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Look, I was wrong about the division curse, but let's not speak too soon. Look, I don't want us to sound too over the top this morning. It was just the Raiders, but it was how they beat the Raiders, how they didn't give them a chance. We're not talking that they're for sure going to make a run to the Super Bowl. We're saying that this schedule is set up to give us the opportunity to get healthy and continue to get right to have the best possible chance. And the teams that we are going to face come the playoffs have just as many questions as we do, if not more. Have just as many injuries, if not more. I would love to be Jeffrey Lurie's BFF, wouldn't you? Yeah, pretty much. I still don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know. 2023 Eagles team wins. I think we can put to bed the 2023 comparison. Because, not just because they won one game, but they've told us to put it to bed. And they've proven it with the way they played yesterday. All right, we're getting there. Anything over 20 is good. So as handed to you by Cowboys, but it's fine because Raiders, what? Get out of here with your nonsense Bills talk. The Eagles beat the Rams. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Lions. They beat the Packers. They beat the Bucks. They've beaten a lot of teams this year. Okay? The capability is there to keep focused. Everything is there in front of them for the Eagles. It is. And I know what Kevin's trying to say, where Kevin wants to keep it, Kevin wants to be cautiously optimistic. Okay? Kevin wants it to be, pump the brakes. And I understand that. I get it. I feel that. But it's hard not to feel good today. Absolutely agree. Rest in peace to 23 talk. We did beat Dallas, too. Yes, the Broncos beat us, and the Bills have how many losses, too? Okay. That Tampa win doesn't look the Chiefs win doesn't look impressive now, and the Tampa, yes, I get that. Yeah, I get it. I normally, Kevin, I'm more down the middle like you, except for on Mondays. Mondays after Eagles wins, I tend to be a little overreactionary, a little positive. And I mean, we've been so negative for so long. I even pulled the Festivus poll out early this year. So I think today is just a good day to just be happy, chill out, relax, because we won. And we didn't just win. We won handedly and easily. And in a way where a lot of questions were answered. The Commies' best interest to lose. Yeah, like there's a lot of teams' best interest. There's a lot of teams fighting for that number one pick, right? I can't believe the Saints went out there and won that game and ruined their chances. The Denver win doesn't look so bad. No, not at all. Understandable. Let's just enjoy this one. I got you. And Kevin, you tune in occasionally. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you share it out. Look, it's just I'm just happy to have one day of drama-free Eagles talk. I'm sure after the show I'll get on Twitter and I'll see all the nonsense from WWRP. But I don't care. Today's a good day for Eagles fans, okay? We haven't had a simple day in weeks. Anybody know what year the Bills won the Super Bowl? No, I'll fact check that for you over the next 24. It'll take me at least 24 hours to dig deep into that one. Yep, exactly. And in-division games are always played tougher. We normally split with Dallas. This year, split with the Giants was weird, though. It was. Did you see another potential concussion for Jackson Dart yesterday? He's been evaluated for 6 concussions in the 10 games he's played this year. That dude isn't going to make it till he's going to have CTE by the time he's 26. It's ridiculous. That poor guy, man. Jackson Dart's going to have a short-ass career if he don't fix something in his playing style. That boy. Look, I mean, I don't root injuries for anybody, even guys that are on the Raiders or on the Giants and Cowboys and the Commanders. I don't want anybody getting hurt. I want to face the Commanders with Daniels, not Mariota. It's okay. It's all right. Ain't nothing going to bring me down, okay? The Giants loss was really understandable for me. It was such an extremely tough spot. I don't think people grasped it at the time. Yeah, and you talked about that in the chat leading up to the game and after the game. You talked about that a lot. I mean, I'm not rooting for Mahomes' injury, and I think Mahomes will be back next year. I think the Chiefs will be back on top next year. I hate to see the Mahomes injury. I know there's Chiefs fatigue, but anybody that says, and I know a couple people have said it today in the chat, well, it's good. Now other people have a chance. I think that's such a loser's attitude. The Chiefs take all our chances by winning all the time. We'll beat them then. Find a way to beat them. I hate that narrative. Well, it's time for somebody else to get a chance. Mahomes won't be back early. Yeah, he will be. Most ACLs are like 7 months now. He'll be back by late July, early August, and he'll probably be ready by week 1. ACLs are so different today. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they might not have lost last night if he didn't get hurt. But, yeah, they're eliminated. It doesn't mean their dynasty's over, though. Yeah, to be the best, you got to beat the best. The Eagles are the best because they beat the best last year, and they ended the dynasty last year. It was always nice to see Mahomes beat the – yeah, exactly. Buy Mahomes' I'll be back scrambling hat. What? And I'll be back scrambling hat? Look, Mahomes scrambled a lot more this year than he has in years past, too. Look, it is what it is with the Chiefs. That's why you can't take anything with your team for granted. Any team, Eagles, Bills, Raiders, can't take it for granted. You never know when one wrong plant or one wrong hit. The question isn't whether the Chiefs will be back. The question is, will Kelsey be back? Or is he going to ride off into the sunset and just be Taylor Swift's, bus driver on tour? Randall Cunningham joke. Oh, is it? Gotcha. I missed the joke. Sorry. Randall Cunningham when he got hurt. Sorry. Boom. Rick, keep talking that talk, son. Yep, whatever. Mahomes had to scramble more this season than other season. That O-line is bad. The O-line has been bad for the Chiefs for a while. Eagles theme song this year, best around. I'm the best around. Nothing's ever going to keep me down. You're the best. Yeah, I like that. It's good stuff. Kelsey needs to retire, become the house husband he was meant to be. Yeah. Time to take care of the babies that they're going to have. You know they're going to have babies, right? Whatever. I don't care. That stuff doesn't bother me and upset me like other people. Taylor on TV, don't bother me. You haven't seen her on TV as much this year with the Chiefs struggling, obviously. I don't know why. Is she on tour? Maybe that has something to do with it, too. I don't know. Either best around or maybe no easy way out by, from Rocky IV. That's a good one there, too. That's a good one. That's a good choice right there. Where are we at with the poll question? Describe yesterday's Eagles victory. There are 32 votes on the live poll question. They dominate it, wins the poll at 69%. It was just the Raiders, got 6%, which is probably one vote. Any win is a good win, got 16%. And let's see it next week before hyped is 9%. That's where we're at. That's the poll question of the day. Bill's least favorite number is 4 because of the 4 straight losses in the big game. You know, Rick, we make fun of it because of TMC, but I cheered for the Bills every one of those games, okay? I became a secondary Bills fan because of those 4 Super Bowls. I became a Bills fan because they were going up against the Cowboys and the Commanders, well, Redskins and Giants. Hey, you know where I'll be all week? Right here on the STT Sports Network, hosting the #1 sports morning show in Philadelphia, trending in the AM. Doing this every day, day in and day out, for the people. And we just got to find more people and have them make the switch. What could happen? What? Is it better to be a never was or fail 4 times at the big game? You're not a has been. You're a never was. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd rather have 4 shots at the Super Bowl than no shots at the Super Bowl, Duck. Honestly, I probably would. What have the Eagles been to now in their history? 5 Super Bowls? Yeah, McNabb in 1, Jaworski in 1, the Wentz-Foles 1, 2 with Hurts. Yeah, so the Eagles are up to 5 Super Bowl appearances now. Okay, gotcha. Bills could go to the Super Bowl maybe. The Bills are very capable of going to the Super Bowl this year, despite their flaws, despite them not winning the division. Well, they're not winning it right now, but they still – I don't even know what the Bills' situation schedule versus Patriots' schedule is for that division, but obviously it got closer yesterday. The mob mentality on this dude, what did I miss? How did this all start? What? Wide left or wide right? What? Oh, the Bills field goal. Defense matters come playoff time. Don't forget that. Okay? Always. Man, the mob mentality on what dude? I don't know, Nooms, what you're talking about on that one there. I missed that. I missed that quote too. Am I off my game this morning? I'm missing a lot of quotes this morning. My A game is not there today, obviously. Okay? The AFC is really competitive. I like the way you said competitive. I don't think there's a team in the AFC that you could just flat out say for sure is the dominant team. You got the AFC North. It's a battle between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Jacksonville, Houston, and Colts battling out in the South. Broncos, Chargers. Patriots, Bills. I guess you can't even write out the Dolphins. They're still alive in the playoff run. You want that ring, you better figure out O-line and Barkley fast. What? TMZ getting lit up, and I missed you. I don't know either. Solid win for our birds, says Carlo. Yes, it was the Raiders. It was a complete game, and they didn't play down to the competition. Also, the adjustments offensively last 2 weeks have been positive. Keep going forward. Perfect summation of everything we've talked about for the last 90 minutes right here. Carlos, I couldn't agree more with you. Whether it was the Raiders or not, you played. You didn't play down to your competition. You played how you're supposed to play for a full 60 minutes. You didn't take your foot off the pedal. You won 31-0, not 28-21. You held them. Yes, the Raiders. Yes, Kenny Pickett. Not to 200 yards of offense, to 75 yards of offense. That is built upon right there. That's how you do it. Like, subscribe, share, please. Let's win the division on Saturday, then take it easy for 2 weeks. That's all you can do, Carlos. Go out, get the next win, then worry about getting Lane, Landon, Cam, and Jalen all 100% healthy. You sit Jalen for a quarter or two here or there. You get these guys right. And then come January, no team is going to want to face us. 100%. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. I would have said the Patriots, but after yesterday, the AFC, the Patriots hadn't played a great team yet. I was rooting for my cousins' Hornets, and they actually won. I don't know anything about that. Thought KP did a good job of putting the linebackers in conflict where a choice had to be made? Absolutely. Poll question answer is dominate win. I had doubt our Eagles winning. I stand corrected. Great win over a bad team. Hope team win next 3. And thanks to Vikings. Yes, absolutely. Thanks to the Vikings for absolutely sure, Jonathan. Hope you're having a great morning as well. Saturday's action-packed. I don't care about college football. Heisman, 2 whatever. I'll be focused on the Eagles on Saturday at 5 o'clock right here on this channel because that's what we do. We go live all the time. We go live for every game. Be a weird one, doing a live Saturday show at 5 o'clock. Like, I don't even think I've ever done that before. I honestly believe that Eagles are the only thing standing in their way of winning back-to-back. Can't beat themselves. Yeah, that's the truth. I don't think you have to convince me on that. The Eagles are the best team when healthy on paper. They have domination, ability in every aspect of the game on paper. As long as they don't make sure. And even yesterday in that perfect game, you had stupid moments like the Cooper DeJean personal foul. Got to be better. You can't let those kind of mistakes. Now, a mistake like Cooper DeJean's personal foul early in the game didn't backfire because it was the Raiders. But in a game against a good team, it could have backfired. 5 p.m. on Saturday. Weird time. I think both LA teams can catch us napping. That's the thing. They just have to not do that. That's the thing. Don't be napping. Jalen almost had another perfect game, which he's still the only quarterback to have what's considered a perfect game as far as metrics after having the worst game. Jalen Hurts played perfectly yesterday. Well, as perfectly as he can. I'm going to miss the Eagles this week. Ironically, I'll be in the D.C. for a family thing. Damn. It means you're not going to be on the live stream with me either? Heartbroken. You didn't know the Angles are back, baby? The Angles? Commanders blow. That's why I don't get excited. That's non-tent. What? Anyway. All right, we're past the 90-minute mark. Do I go longer or do we keep going? Or do I end this show? Jalen Carr has a unique ability to shed blocks. He does this by playing with great leverage and angles. Those 300-pound players don't bend like that. That's what makes JC great. 100% JC is great. Content versus non-tent. What? I don't know what you're saying half the time. I'm feeling it. My coffee's empty. The only downside is my coffee. I mean, I don't have a job. I mean, I could go DoorDash, but that would mean I have to clean the snow off my car. Put in an Eagles effort. I mean, I kind of feel like going 92 minutes this morning is pretty solid effort. We're also getting healthier. Lane and Carter should be back soon. And Carlos, I said it earlier in the show, you're in late today, or maybe this is your first time here. I'm not rushing. There's a lot of reports that Lane will be back next week for the Commanders game. I'm not doing it. We finally won a game without Lane. I'm getting Lane 100%. Carter, I'm not playing him till the playoffs. I'm being extra cautious with these guys because come January, what's better? Getting these guys back now at 85% or getting them back in 3 weeks at 95%? 95% is better, and that's what I'm doing. These guys don't need weeks to work the rust off. They can just go out there, plug and play as soon as they're healthy. So you get them at 100%. And you be cautious with Landon. You get a lead, you pull Landon Dickerson. You get a lead, you pull Cam Jurgens. You didn't know the Eagles are back, baby. Your ass better. You didn't know that. You better ass better call somebody. Yeah, there's my Road Dogg impersonation. Eagles will be in the Super Bowl. I hope so. I hope so. Don't ever be premature. That's a bad thing. I understand resting Carter and Lane and whoever needs to. You win the division and then you rest everybody. You get healthy. You're so far from having a chance at getting the number 1 seed. You're pretty much locked into the number 3 seed. So this is what you do. You rest them. Muchas gracias, Kevin. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. I never stop rocking. I always keep going. This is what I do. Cowboys fans got 2 words for you. Cowboys Cowboys fans are in complete free fall, Carlos. I was on Twitter this morning for like 15 minutes before the show started. They're all, oh, we still got 5 Super Bowls. We still beat you a few weeks ago. Cowboys fans are in classic December Christmas meltdown mode. And it couldn't happen to a better group of guys and girls. So happy to see it. Nothing's better than that. Hurts. This might be crazy, but once the division is locked up, I'd even consider sitting Hurts. He's definitely sitting week 18. I would even sit him for half the game against the Bills, win or lose. You don't take any chances. They're 3.5 games behind of now. They are done. Cowboys are done. Absolutely. Poor Cowboys. Oh, they're crying. Cowboys. I'm waiting for First Take just to see Stephen A. Smith laugh at the Cowboys. You should never listen to First Take or any of that nonsense. Carlos, find yourself content creators online and support them. We are not 100% locked in. I didn't write down in my notes, so I forget the exact number, but I think it was like 88 or 89% likely that we are the 3 seed. To get the 1 seed, we'd have to win out, and I think the Rams and the Bears would have to go 1-2. One team would have to go 1-2, and one team would have to go 0-3. So it's so impossible to get the 1. There's a slight chance at the 2, and that's it. It's pretty much the 3 seed. So you're preparing for San Fran or Seattle in the link in January. You're trying to prepare your best for that matchup, and that's it. Root for the Rams Thursday. Seattle still has the Rams and San Fran. Yeah, I do have to look at the rest of the team's schedules. JC, best block shedding move is his swipe and swim move. You have to set the O-line up with explosive shiver coming out of his stance. Can't play with strong hands with a bad shoulder. Exactly, and that's why he's getting healthy. There's no need to rush him back until January. But I'm not sitting him all January, too. I don't watch the show. He just makes me laugh when talking about the Cowboys. Yeah, I know. I just bash the mainstream media all the time. It's just my thing. Collinsworth was drooling all over Dak last night. He said he runs this offense, but when they lost, he was speechless. People will never stop drooling over Dak for some reason. And it's because it's the Cowboys. People just can't stop drooling all over the Cowboys. They love it. They love them some Dak. It's weird. It sucks. It's crazy. Whatever. They love them, their Dallas Cowboys, and their Dak Prescott. Oh, well. It is what it is. It's comical, but whatever. Yeah. Anyway, all right, it's time to start the wrap-up process. What's on tap this week? We obviously got plenty of trending in the AM every single morning, and the Eagles check down every afternoon, evening. Hopefully we have some Phillies and Sixers content released on the channel this week. We'll see. Depends on if there's any interesting news to talk about. But we'll try our best. But it'll just be nice to have a week. Drama-free. It'll be nice to have a week this week where there's no problems. It'll be nice this week to have a week where if there's any negativity, we know who it's coming from. Collinsworth has some very odd takes. Collinsworth, overrated in my opinion. 2 is absolutely in play. 2's in play for sure, but 1 is definitely not in play. As always, thank you very much. It's always, every show is a great show. Some shows are better than others. Today was a good, solid show. 355 comments. Got 21, 22 likes on the video. Yeah, it was a good, strong, solid show today. There'll be more solid shows later this week. Got lots of things happening this week. It's the holiday season's upon us. We're 10 days from Christmas. It finishes the season going into the playoffs. He'll start his offseason trading later, rehabbing. This will make his 26th season less impressive. Yeah, I don't know. If they thought it was that bad, they would have made him have the surgery instead of whatever It is that he did. Anyway, with that being said, guys, we're going to wrap this baby up at 100 minutes today. I don't got any guests lined up this week, but maybe, you never know. We'll see what piques my interest this week. But everybody have a great day. It's cold as hell out there. So bundle up if you're going out. Guys, go Birds. Bubbles up.